Howdy everybody, ArgonMatrix here. Welcome to episode 131 of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. There's something odd about the number 131. I feel like I don't know. I don't hear that number very often. I guess it's just not common. I don't know. VTVD 2828. I don't know what that was. 28XF. We're in a Judas Greedier mode run today. Starting off with a pentagram is pretty solid, although it's a little scary to not start with an HP upgrade as Judas. Chaos would be absolutely amazing. This key on sale is actually kind of a godsend since Judas starts with 3 coins. Exactly. Not super interested in Friend Ball, but that's okay. I was really hoping for that to be an HP upgrade, but hopefully we'll be able to manage between the Pentagram and Book of Belial here. I don't think we'll have too much trouble, provided we don't run into too many scary enemies. Problem herein lies that I can't really press the button without being in a pretty scary spot. Admittedly, I do have some hearts and stuff lying around that I can heal with, I think. But otherwise, just make sure you don't get hit by any champions and just tear ass, really. Like, honestly, like, starting with... And this isn't actually... I just wanted to double check. I was pretty sure that it wouldn't give me an extra bonus using the Book of Belial twice, but just wanted to double check. But starting with like 10 damage right off the bat here in like the very first floor is pretty like incredible. It's not too often that it happens that you get the double-digit damage within like the very first waves of the game, but it can happen quite clearly. Regardless, we're gonna go ahead and try and keep this streak of 1 alive, I guess. I was hoping to be able to streak all of the Greedier mode wins, like all of them. Unfortunately, that is no longer plausible because I think I died as Cain once, but that's not such a big deal. Pardon me if I end up having to be a little bit quieter in this video. I don't know if it's noticeable at all, but I am recording this at roughly midnight, which is, you know, I have other people in the house with me who are trying to sleep, so I can't be too loud. I can't be screaming like, "Oh my god, it's chaos! What the fuck, man? What the actual..." Okay, I can't do shit like that. Not that I normally do anyway. I'm normally a pretty mellow dude, all things told, as I'm sure most of you are keenly aware of by this point. Although I don't know, I am getting a little bit of new viewership thanks to this Isaac series. So, welcome one and all. If you have come for the Isaac, hope you're enjoying it so far. I know there are many different outlets for your Isaac entertainment on YouTube and Twitch, or both. So I'm happy that you've decided to stop here, and hope you enjoy your stay, however long it may be. I don't know how popular the Isaac scene is anymore, like, lately. Like, I know for a while it had been, like, with the release of Rebirth especially, the Isaac scene had been pretty flooded with newcomers, or just, like, old veterans of the game, who were, like, all into the classic game, and they really wanted to have fun with Rebirth. And they would do like races or shit on Twitch. They've done like Let's Plays. I don't know if Isaac Let's Plays are all that common. I know there's obviously one out there that's quite notorious, I want to say. Oh man, Guppy's tail would be great just because it's a Guppy item, but obviously we can't really take it here, so I'm gonna forgo that. And I think I'll just go ahead and pick up Chaos here, because why the hell not, dude? Throw this run to the wolves. Make the first item we pick up Chaos. Well, technically the second one, if you want to be real pedantic about it. This will give us our charge for Book of Belial, going down to the next floor, which is kind of awesome, and we'll get a move on. Hopefully get an HP upgrade before too long here, because I'm fine, you know, glass cannoning it up for a little while, but can't be going forever like this. Spirit of the Night is interesting. Doesn't really provide too much benefit in greed mode, but, you know, there's Infamy there, so that's probably what I'm going to want to end up buying. Spirit of the Night does let me pick these both up, which is pretty solid. Watch Battery doesn't do really anything for me, I don't think, because it only improves the drop rate of batteries, which obviously batteries don't really drop in green mode. You have to buy them. So we're going to want to end up picking up Infamy here, I think. That's kind of not even debatable in my mind. And then we'll go from there, I suppose, see how much money we can accumulate here. Doubt I'm going to want to take the red candle, even though the red candle, like I rarely ever take the candle items, the red or the blue candle. I do know the very subtle difference between the two of them, so don't worry about that. And they are quite valuable if you don't have very high damage from your tiers on a run. But I just, like, never even consider it. Even if I do have, like, a setup like that where the candle would be great, for some reason it just never crossed my mind. Maybe it's because, like, I'm still mad or salty or whatever you want to call it about the fact that they fixed that one glitch that used to work in classic Isaac where you could use the blue candle in the mom fight on the doors and just, like, totally destroy her. Because even if, like, she wasn't in the doors at the time, if you used it on the doors, it would still damage her. And obviously, like, that's a glitch that should have been fixed, and it was fixed, and I shouldn't be mad about that, but it just ruins my nostalgia, man. I just can't take it. Even though the blue candle and the red candle are both quite good. Which is better? Honestly, I think even though the blue candle takes, like, longer to unlock, I'm pretty sure, I think I like the red candle a little more. Just because, like, the red candle, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the red candle, or maybe I do like the blue candle more, because I think that what the blue candle does is it just lasts, like, a certain definite amount of time, whereas the red candle fire, it lasts as long as it's not, like, put out by tears or doing enough damage or whatever. So maybe the blue one is, like, objectively better, but for some reason, the red one sings to me. Alright, so Rag Mega here is a bit of a scary time because he's difficult to take out quickly, which is kind of the name of the game in these waves because we're about to face a second boss at the same time here. It's the Hollow, who, like, spawned, like, literally on top of me. That was kind of hilarious. There are worse bosses to face than the Hollow, admittedly, so, not super worried about this, although that is scary right there, that I'm down to half a heart now. Come on. Just hang out in this corner for a little while. Don't worry too much about Rag Mega. Just try and take out the Hollow, honestly, and then we can focus on the big bad. There we go. Now this guy. Now this is the problem: is that once these balls start chasing me, that's lights out basically. It was a really bad dodge on my part, to be fair. So that's all on me. I'll take full credit for that one. 6x6l QAF1. That was actually, like, a pretty good run, and I'm surprised that it went south as fast as it did, but that can just happen sometimes, you know. Strength is pretty solid. I might just use that to get through the first waves of this one. Stem cells on sale is pretty decent. I do want that key as soon as I can get it. So we're going to go ahead and use this. Then we're going to use strength. Make 13 damage, so even more than we initially had. Of course, we're not going to be able to get this consistently because we only had the one strength card, but goddamn, is it going to feel good for a little while to just steamroll all this shit. As long as we don't get hit by a champion or a couple, you know, rogue hits, we'll be fine. I feel like I was talking about something and I just totally, like, neglected it. I don't know if I ever finished that, like, tangent I went on about, but, like, Isaac Let's Plays or anything. Like, you don't see that many of them that last for, like, an insipidly long time, like I plan on this one doing. It's just kind of always been, like, I was gonna say, like, a dream, but that's maybe too grandiose of a term, but, you know, like, a goal of mine, or an idea of mine, to just have a series on this channel that I can just run with forever and just never ever stop. And I don't know if Isaac is going to be that, like, into the foreseeable future. Like, am I going to be here, like, 10 years from now doing episode, like, fucking 3,000 of Isaac or whatever? I don't even know. It would probably be well beyond that after 10 years. Well, 10 years. 10 years, 365 days. That'd be close to 4,000. So, I mean, reasonable estimate, I guess. Go ahead and keep fighting here because we still have the bonus from the strength card, so we might as well get the most bang for our buck that we can. Yeah, but I've always sort of just wanted one of those that I can just sort of upload every day as much as I can anyway, without hopefully not have life get in the way too much, and then just, you know, have that as a consistent thing on my channel, and hopefully be able to do that for a long time here. Maybe not forever. I can imagine that after, you know, the first 1,000 videos, people might start to get sick of Isaac, but I'm not going to say it's career suicide because, you know, that might be used against me in the future if I do end up on episode 5,000 or whatever of Isaac. Who knows, man? That well could come to fruition if I do end up at any point, like, changing to, you know, 2 Isaac videos a day or 3 Isaac videos a day. Of course, I think 2 would be the highest I would ever go. And maybe 1 regular video and 1 daily for a little while anyway, just to try and get the achievements. God damn, dude. I just straight up like walked into Monster. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you, man? Maybe it's just because it's like 12:30 and I'm going nuts here. C2TP 3KK9. 10 minutes in, 2 deaths. Par for the course. There's our HP that we so desperately cloy for as Judas. Hopefully that'll be the difference maker. Although I had 2 HP thanks to the strength card on the previous run, and that didn't seem to make that much of a difference. Now I'm in basically the same spot except with 5 less damage. So, you know, woo-ha, I guess. It's not fair. You can't just spawn poop in the middle of the arena. The dips I understand, but the random poop, it's just not fair, dude. It's like when a wave is just like a bunch of mega troll bombs or something. Okay, this is just like insulting at this point. Greed mode, like this is supposed to be greedier mode. This is supposed to be the hard version of greed mode. First 3 waves. The first wave, 2 neutral flies. Second wave, 4 dips. Third wave, 6 neutral flies. Even this is not that bad, despite the fact that I got hit by it and may get killed by that champion if I'm not careful, but like, come on, dude. I know I've not been playing to the top of my ability here in these first couple runs, but show me a little more respect than that, man. I've gotten 1,000,001% at least one time. And by at least one time, I mean only one time so far, but, you know, I'm fast on track to do it again. Alright, let's take a step back here. You're better than this. Like, I'm talking to myself, me, looking at me in the mirror, looking at me in the reflection of my window here, because I can see it because it's all black and shit outside. You are better at this game than this. Don't let this get in your head. You died 3 times. Get all the shit out. I don't know what's going on inside my brain today that this is even conceivable. 6XEC, JXSQ. This is the one. This is our run to dominate. No matter what this item in here is. You know what? Caffeine pill. Give me an I'm excited pill. I don't care. I can see forever. Well, that's actually fine. Is there a secret room here? No, there's not. Night is not. That is so. Got a spirit heart over there. That's actually pretty helpful. Got a bunch of poop in here. You know what? I am gonna shoot all of it because you never know when you're gonna get a random petrified poop or just some coins out of it. You know, that's enough coins to afford our key. So totally worth it, I would say. Early game, I think shooting poop is a valid tactic. And that's what I need to get more in the habit of is, you know, mining deep into my Isaac knowledge to get the best bang for my buck that I can. And not just playing so lackadaisically, focusing on, you know, the tangents and the commentary. Gotta focus on the game sometimes, especially as Judas, who is a very glass cannon sort of character. Although Black Lotus is gonna change that pretty dramatically here. Because instead of being at 1 HP, now we're at 5. Which I think, like, if I die, at least if I die, like, on the first floor now, I just have no words. I think I'm just gonna have to end the fucking video at that point. Still, you know, these waves are, with this one is an exception. This one is actually up the difficulty pretty significantly, but there was that one wave that was literally like a stony and a neutral fly. The fuck was that, dude? At the same time, I don't appreciate shit like that where you just spawn a fly basically on top of me. But, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it on the chin. Am I the only one who, like, has a little bit of a beef with that expression, take it on the chin? It's like, that, like, what is that? Like, that, normally, you use that to be like, okay, I'll take that without too much scuff. I won't argue that too much. I'll take it on the chin and just deal with it, you know? But, like, if I were to take a hit on my chin, like an actual physical hit to my chin, that seems like one of the worst places to take a hit for me. Like, obviously, it's not lethal or anything, probably. Unless you end up being really unlucky and it's like, they take the chin at, like, a downward angle and it somehow, like, their chin bone jabs into your jugular vein and you bleed out on the inside. That's a terrible, terrible way to go. But, like, even so, like, just the chin, just the aspect or the concept of getting hit on the chin. Like, even the words coming out of my mouth as I say it, it's like, I got hit on the chin. It's like, it's just not cool, man. It just gives me that weird, uncomfortable feeling. The same sort of feeling, and I don't know how these are related at all, getting hit in the chin and what I'm about to describe, but the same sort of feeling as, like, getting chalk on your hands. Or just getting your hands, like, really, really dry with, like, no way to prevent it. And then you, like, go and wash your hands, and it's, like, sort of, like, temporary relief, right? Because it's like, oh, yeah, there's all this moisture on my hands now. But as soon as it all fades, your hands are drier than when you began, because that's just how water works in general. See, I'm losing more HP than I would like to admit, mostly because I've gone on this weird tangent right now, so let's try and focus on the game a little bit, because clearly I need to at this point. Alright, go ahead and fight the Devil Wave, because I still have the bonus from Book of Belial, which is going to be helpful here. What even were the items for sale? There was one that I wanted. I think it was the wire coat hanger, so we'll probably go for that fairly shortly here. And otherwise, just don't take any dumb damage from Monstro. Of all things, you should have... Of all the enemies in the game, Monstro is possibly like the most iconic, at least as far as the bosses go. You should be able to deal with him 9 times out of 10 taking 0 damage, regardless of your setup. That's just my own personal opinion. Take it as you see fit. So I will take Empty Vessel here. Gives me some good black heartage, as well as a good potential future investment if we're able to trade away this last red heart, which hopefully we'll be able to. Get that going. The wire coat hanger puts us up to a pretty solid tier clip. And gonna move on, little dog. Tier clip. What is this, a first-person shooter now? I mean, technically it's a third-person shooter. I want to be really pedantic. My god, I just realized. I've said all my life I'm not really into shooter games, but what's the one game that I gravitate towards to make like an infinite series on my channel? It's a fucking shooter, dude. I never considered The Binding of Isaac much of a shooter, but you know, I guess in the most brass tacks it really is. Alright, so we're not going to worry about the clicker, belly button. None of it's really that concerning to me, so we'll just take our key and see what we got here. Maybe we'll end up re-rolling some of this stuff. Got sulfuric acid, which is a damage upgrade. Pretty significant one, actually. And it also lets us deal with these mushrooms, which I'm going to do. Just in the off chance we get something pretty decent out of them. You never know when a rogue magic mush, or even a mini mush, is going to rear its ugly head. We can actually do this, too, now that I think about it. Sulfuric acid may be more of a benefit than I realized in greed mode here. That was really fast. Then we can go ahead and pop these guys. Hopefully get 10 cents out of it if we're lucky. 5 cents is still solid. I'm going to blow this guy up just because I don't really feel like using him. And then we'll go ahead and I think just re-roll all this, because we're going to want to do it at some point anyway. We'll leave stuff on the table here. We've seen how potent the D1 can be in previous greed mode videos, or at least one previous greed mode video, so that's something worth considering for sure. Now, I think I touched on this in a previous video, and I realize now, because I actually saw the damage go up from sulfuric acid, I realize that it is just a flat damage bonus now. But do the acidic tears still do more damage on top of that damage bonus? Or are the sulfuric tears specifically only for dealing with like shooting through rocks and stuff? My hunch is that it only gives you the corroding effect, because if it gave you a flat damage bonus plus extra damage on top of your that damage bonus that only activates sometimes, that would be a little powerful. I mean, there are more items more powerful than that in Isaac in general, specifically in like deals with the devil and stuff, but I don't know, maybe that could be the case. I could see them potentially doing something like that. Got 20 cents here. I mean, Crackjacks is kind of tempting just because HP is always nice, but I really want to get that empty vessel to pop off at some point here, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep going with this because Book of Belial is doing fine. It really wants me to take the D1, huh? You can get to a Matchbook, which is an evil upgrade, as well as a Black Heart. We'll go for Matchbook, I guess. Get some more bombs out of the deal here. Only one of them's a troll bomb this time. That I can appreciate. Like the D1, I'm probably still not going to be able to afford it anymore. It would have been interesting. Oh god! That was rude. I don't know, man. I kind of regret not taking D1 now, just because it is actually a pretty good greed mode item, as I found. It's honestly just a pretty good item in general, if I'm being completely honest here. But I don't think we'll be necessarily sad with our choice of Book of Belial here. Of course, now that I actually have the money to afford D1, which I didn't think I was going to get, I might have to put my money where my mouth is here and just see. Because okay, let's take this run as it stands right now. Do we have the damage without Book of Belial to feel comfortable moving on? we have 5.5 damage without Book of Belial, which is still pretty good, but Book of Belial is such a nice bonus. Would the utility that we get out of the D1 be worth giving up that bonus? Because with the D1, we could also just take like a damage upgrade here, which would be pretty sweet too. The D1, we could get like free Spirit Hearts, we could get some extra money. I don't know, dude. I feel like taking the D1 earlier on is better, and I know we're only on the caves, which is still pretty early in greed mode, but I think Synth Oil is just a better option overall for us right now. Maybe I'll come to regret that, maybe not. I think the D1 has its place on certain runs. This may not be one of them. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get these skulls done with. So we can get some good cards and stuff out of them, maybe. Also got Mom's Coin Purse, which is going to give us some pills. Got two of the same one, which is X-Lax. Not very good, because I don't think the X-Lax puddle even affects the enemies, so it's strictly a bad pill, as far as I know. Deal with these skulls before anything else. It's okay, I can wait. Oh, god damn it. Waited all that time to break that one skull and it turned out to be a host. Story of my life, dude. I might as well like break all these just in case there's like a crawl space or something. I know that's probably a little bit too min-maxy even for my tastes, but you know, sometimes you gotta get to that mojo going, especially after you've died like fucking for no reason over like 3 different greed mode runs here. Swallowed Penny is a pretty solid upgrade. Don't want to be taking too much damage, obviously, so hopefully that won't come into play as much as we might need it to. Or as much as it might end up coming into play, I guess I should say. Alright, so Chaos is probably going to be a valuable thing for us here. I'm going to go ahead and check out the Curse Room just in case it's something really worthwhile, like a 9 lives or something would have been cool. We got Gulp instead, which is actually totally fine by me. We gulped our Swallowed Penny, which is far from the worst trinket you could gulp in greed mode. Possibly like one of the best trinkets you can gulp, honestly. And we'll just rock out with Retrovision, I guess. I think I've, like, played this game for so long that I've just become numb to the effects of Retrovision. Like, I get what it's supposed to be. Like, it's like, oh, it's all pixelated now, and it's gonna mess up your ability to dodge or see shots or whatever. And it's like... But, like, now, like, whenever I see Retrovision, I don't feel like I play any differently than I do without the Retrovision effect applied. It's just, like, it's just kind of there. Maybe it's been like that for a while, and I'm only just sort of acknowledging it now, because it's just like, I don't know, man. Obviously, Retrovision is not a pill that strictly needs to be in the game. It's one of the ones that people have the most sort of grief with, but it does help balance the pill economy, because it's not strictly, like, exceptionally bad, like an I'm Excited pill, but it's not, like, super amazing either, like just any stat-up pill, basically. Or I'm Drowsy, or what have you, if you want to be... If you want to make the direct comparison between I'm Excited and I'm Drowsy. Okay, let's stop this, first of all. Where'd that red heart come from? That was Old Bandage, that's right. That's a thing that exists on this run. This guy has caused me more damage over the course of, like, a single floor than I've taken over the rest of the entire game so far, practically. What can I get for 24 cents here? We can get Chaos, which is worth it to pick up before... Wow. That's a random... I mean, this doesn't seem like a very random set of drops from Chaos, even though it should have been. I'll go ahead and buy our key, and hopefully get something nice out of our treasure room with Chaos now. We got a Tears upgrade, Tears and Shot Speed, putting us very near the Tears cap, which I'm fine with. We'll go ahead and use our Book of Belial first off, because I keep forgetting to do that, to like press it before I activate the button, which is very wise, a wise thing to do, because you get the charge out of it, obviously. And the Stain here, just... not the best place to be able to dodge the Stain, because normally you want to be a little bit further away than this. We'll make it work regardless. I don't know what else spawned. Oh, it's an Angel. That actually worked out very well. Just fired his beams at the perfect trajectory to ruin the Stain's life. Stain is one of those boss names that I'll just never get. I just don't understand what about him is Stain-like, I guess. I don't know, maybe if I knew more biblical symbolism or anything, then I would understand that, but who knows, dude. I did make a bit of a misplay here heading back into the shop when my Book of Belial charge was still active, so I had to use it on this wave, which is gonna throw off my my timing on Book of Belial charges for the next floor here, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm gonna go ahead and use the death card. It just felt like the right time to use it, man. There might have been a bomb fly or something up there that got dealt with because of that. So what is this? This is like triple Loki, basically. It might have even been quadruple Loki, and I just wasn't paying attention as early as I could have been. I feel like Loki is one of those bosses that, like, that, you know, Loki is not that hard ever, I kind of want to say. Of course, now he hits me, like, twice in very quick succession after I say that. But that's just kind of, like, an exception to the rule. I feel like I could fight, like, 10 Lokis at once and just be totally fine with it. Maybe not totally fine, but, you know. Alright. This is the time to make plays. This is the time to prove your true Isaac metal. You take Conehead, which gives you a Spirit Heart, right? It does. And then you take Cricket's head. So we look fucking ridiculous, first off. And now we only have one Spirit Heart. No ability to buy any more Spirit Hearts either, which is a little scary. But we'll make do. That's good. It's actually very good. And then we also have Empty Vessel active now, so hopefully that'll be our tickets to victory here. We have 12 damage without Book of Belial, thanks to Cricket's head now, so I think we can actually probably afford to take Book of Revelations here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Take Book of Revelations. Oh my god, fucking Dead Cat. That would have been so sweet, but I don't have the ability to take it now. It's okay, that's okay. I mean, unless we somehow magically get to, like, fucking... We'd have to get 7 cents out of this room somehow. Which does not seem plausible, given the state of affairs in here, although... Random crawl space. Am I really gonna, like, spend all this time breaking every single rock in here, hoping for a crawl space? Nah, just in this one corner, I think, and then we'll be done with. Come on. Oh, there you go. Is there anything else I really cared about up here? I could, like, buy a key or a Spirit Heart or something. Ooh, the Spirit Heart's a little tempting. We'll go for it. Just to set ourselves off on the right foot coming the next floor. Then we'll get a move on. I use that phrase way too often, especially lately. Get a move on. Especially if you add Little Doggy to the end of it, which I so often do. We got Guppy's Paw here, so if we'd been able to take Dead Cat on the previous floor, that would have been awesome. Unfortunately, was not within our grasp. Guppy's Tail, we could have been Guppy. Could have been a contender, dude. So many hearts broken. Of course, with Chaos in the mix here, I think the odds of becoming Guppy are pretty significantly raised anyway, so I don't think this will be our only opportunity to become Guppy. Yeah, okay, well that just proves me right there, doesn't it? I was destined to become Guppy on this run. If I end up being able to take both of these, I absolutely would like to. But if I have to choose between them, I'm definitely gonna take Guppy's Tail. Obviously, objectively worse, just item to item, than Maw of the Void, especially in greed mode. But when comparing Maw of the Void to the Guppy transformation, which is what we're effectively doing there, I think one is the clear winner, honestly. But, you know, you never know. Between, like, Swallow Penny and just the amount of money we managed to make on this, on these waves, we could be able to get both. Have our cake and fucking eat it, too. Thank you to Empty Vessel for making this a little bit easier on me. Ooh, shit. Okay, so, pop Book Revelations every time that it's active. Gotta make sure I keep on top of those charges. And I feel like this run has gone from, like, 0 to 180 real quick. You know what I mean? Is that how the expression even goes? I'm not fully aware, but it's not the strongest run I've ever seen. And admittedly, this wave is starting to overwhelm me a little bit here. But we're getting on top of it now. Yeah, look at that. Only got the one enemy left. Oh, God. Didn't expect to see all these clockwork motherfuckers down here. Oh, well, that's fine. Yeah, and even without Book of Belial. Imagine how much, like, mayhem we'd be wreaking with Book of Belial on this floor. I think Book of Revelations was absolutely the clear choice to take. So we got Loki and the gates up there. We can go ahead and try and deal with Loki before anything else. Hopefully get, like, a lucky nickel or something out of Swallow Penny at some point here. Oh god, we got Carrion Queen. Okay, this is actually a pretty scary... Is this actually double Carrion Queen? It's hard to tell. I think it's only the one. Still, very, very terrifying prospects right now. Okay, get in there. Deal with the gate, honestly, first, because he's causing the most grief just because with these, like, bullet swarms. We actually managed to kill Loki at some point in the mayhem there, so it's only Carrion Queen now, which is not that bad. Carrion Queen on her own is still an annoying enemy to fight, but far from the worst. If I had to fight a single Isaac enemy in a vacuum, like, and by a vacuum I mean, like, I'm fighting them with no items, and they're fighting me, just, like, not a champion version themselves, no other things in the room, just, like, a straight-up duel. Which enemy would I most like to fight? Taking into account how badass I would feel beating it with no items as well, because that's an important factor to consider, of course. I think I could reasonably handle the bloat and feel pretty good about it without any items. So we got Guppy there. We also got Maw of the Void. There's Guppy's head just in case, you know. And now let's fight our deal with the Devil Wave here. We got Mask of Infamy and something else up there. I wasn't quite sure what it was. It's double Mask of Infamy. It's actually pretty daunting. But Maw of the Void is going to make it immensely easier. I mean, immensely is maybe a bit... Well, I mean, there you go. Between Maw of the Void and Guppy, we are really rolling here. This only helps to cement the deal. Get away from me. Let's just pop Retrovision, just cuz. Get it out of my face. Get it in my face and then out of my face as quick as you can. Anything else worth considering here? I mean, Guppy's Paw could be worth, like, taking down with us just to preserve our empty vessel. But I think Book of Revelations is a little better at that, because we can just, like, choose not to take HP upgrades if they come by. Alright, got Mom's Box here, which is going to give us Isaac's Fork, which is pretty bad as far as trinkets go for us right now, but that's okay. We got the Body, which we really do not want that much. We got Dead Cat just, like, kind of sitting up there, which may be worth considering. But I think it's only worth considering after we've dealt with all the waves except for the deal with the Devil Wave, if that makes sense. Because it'll give us the... Because when we take it, it'll give us the HP, which will obviously sort of ruin... It'll ruin Empty Vessel for us. We'll still have Flight because of Guppy. We just won't have the shield effect, which is kind of what I really enjoy. This actually gives us some money, so I'm fine with that. Basically just broke even on that key. Alright, Minu, I hear you, and I think that everyone else back there hears you too, or out there in the YouTube sphere. Clearly you want to be a part of this run. Come on, girl. Here she comes. Sit on my lap. Enjoy the ride. You were here at the start of the run, and then you saw me die like 3 times, and you're like, fuck this guy. And you hopped away. Let's go ahead and get back into it here, though. So I'm going to wait on that 9 lives plate, even though it is a very good item to take. Just until right before the deal with the devil. So that I have that 1 HP to theoretically trade away. And then we'll go from there. What is this? It's Awaz. Not the rune I was really looking for. I was hoping for a Yara rune, to be perfectly honest with you, because that's oftentimes the best rune in greed mode. And out of greed mode, too, if I'm being perfectly blunt. Although they all have their uses. Awaz in greed mode is usually not my jam, just because I don't find very often a reason to head down to the next floor. I might as well pop it over here, just to like, maybe get a crawl space or something. It actually won't even open until I beat this wave, which is interesting in its own right. Oh, it's a doppelganger. That was weird. Okay. I'm going to save this Empress card for probably the Omega Greed fight. Seems like the best opportunity for it. So don't worry about this just yet, because we still got the boss waves to fight. And then we'll head up and take that Dead Cat before we fight our deal with the devil. Because if we fight it and then try to go back for Dead Cat and the deal closes, we're going to be real sad about that. Especially if the deal is actually like very good for us. Which it may or may not be, given the given chaos is a part of this run. So we're going to go ahead and grab this up here. Hopefully we will even be able to trade away our HP, because otherwise this is going to feel a little silly that we even debated over all this time. Do I care about any of this? Not exceptionally, but I think I'm going to take Hue Meat anyway, just because an orbital is pretty nice to have. And Cube of Meat is probably like among the best orbitals in the game, admittedly. Wow, that was the fastest conquest fight I ever did see. What do we got here? No ability to trade away HP. Not the end of the world, because we have 9 lives, and we have pretty potent damage dealing potential, so obviously not in too bad of a spot. Like, it's such a bad spot that that Empty Vessel is really essential to our run. Now, what am I doing here? I am actually trying and a little bit failing. I don't know how I didn't take damage on like either of those exits. Trying, because I want to take... I mean, do I want to take Eden's Soul? Because I can't... I'll have to take it down to the next floor if I want to charge it up, because it's going to come, like, uncharged. I guess I'll just keep my 15 cents and head down to the next floor. Hope to get something nice in the shop. At least we got 15 cents going into the next shop, so that Swallowed Penny play wasn't the worst in the world. There we go. I'm gonna move on here. So I feel a little ashamed that I had to die 3 times before eventually kind of just like steamrolling the game here with a high damage guppy run. But you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes, man. I decided that this was my run to win, and there were some tougher moments than others. Why am I even fighting these guys? I can just leave. I don't need to worry about their asses. Admittedly, they could have... Ooh, they actually did bomb open at crawl space here. I was going to say they could have bombed the shopkeepers or something. I'll take a free 3 cents, though. No skin off my scrote. And honestly, like, it's not that surprising that we got a pretty powerful run here as Judas. Judas tends to be a very powerful character in most cases. I don't really care that much about starter deck. Do I? I don't know. I'm willing to spend the money on it because we're gonna get money from our greed fight anyway. Ace of Diamonds, huh? That's not extremely viable in greed mode because most of the drops, basically all the drops on this room should be money anyway. So the Ace of Diamonds is not gonna come into play there. But you never know. We could get some random like hearts out of old bandage or something that drop, and we'll want to re-roll those. Because we can't really use them in our current state. You know, it'd be an awesome sort of like side effect of sulfuric acid would be if you could shoot those knight enemies, the ones that you can normally only shoot from the back. If the sulfuric tears shot through their like armor on the front, that would be kind of a cool interaction. I don't mean to like destroy their armor and make like a new sprite for them with their like destroyed armor or whatever. That might be a little too much like background work for the developers or whatever. But you know, just like make it so we can deal damage to them from the front with a sulfuric tear. It would come into play like so infrequently as to be negligible. But I think it's still it would make sense in the grand scheme of things. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. Maybe that's a mod I could design or something. If I ever find this free time to ever focus on mod work, which seems to be in woefully short supply as of late. Go ahead and fight for our deal with the devil here. Hopefully we'll be able to trade away this this red HP. And then we'll be able to just rock out with our cocks out, and also with Empty Vessel backing us up. What else do we got up here? You know, honestly, try and get Maw of the Void for these 2 jokers. There we go. Didn't get our black hearts out of it, but that's okay. What do we got? We have Steven. Okay, this is a weird situation because I think we also have Steven. I'm going to do this just because it's funny. We also have Steven for sale in our shop, I believe. So can we get double Steven action all the way across the sky? That'd be kind of great. Seem to be our best Ace of Diamonds play right there. I'm going to go ahead and take Steven for the damage upgrade. That's how often do you get that? That's so weird, dude. And then I'm just going to go ahead and keep my money and head down to the next floor. I don't think it's really worth re-rolling because I feel powerful enough to beat Greed, Omega Greed, what have you, as I am right now. So I don't really need to worry too much about that. I guess I could have saved Ace of Diamonds for this room if I had known about that, what those drops would be. Check out the curse room real fast here. We actually did get a little bit of a bonus out of it, so time well spent. And let's go down to the Ultra Greed fight. Pop our Empress card, should put us up to like 20 or so damage. We will be in a good spot. Good shit, good shit. I was hoping for a quarter out of that, but that does just as well. Might as well use our bomb, because what else are we going to use it on this run? And let's fight. It puts us up to 20.74 damage. Should be a good time. We can actually walk right in here and deal some pretty hefty Maw of the Void type damage with Empty Vessel active. And that should not be the only time that we get to do that. The greed fight goes on for such a long time that we should get plenty of Empty Vessel plays just over the course of our life in this hell that we've created for ourselves. Got Head of the Keeper. I feel like this happened like on our previous fight against Ultra Greed too. Like just a random Head of the Keeper spawned in the middle of the fight. Obviously, it didn't just like appear. It was like one of these bomb coins blew up a shopkeeper, and then it dropped Head of the Keeper. I don't know if maybe there's like somehow like a weirdly raised chance for that to happen in the greed fight. Although I think it's kind of just dumb luck on my part. That's more what I'm inclined to believe, because I've only ever seen that happen twice in these like 2 subsequent videos. It's just a very, very strange coincidence. I don't think there's any actual algorithm that determines that or anything. Regardless, I'm getting a little bit cocky maybe. I just kind of like, I'm getting a little up close and personal with Ultra Greed. He's real mad about the situation right now. And you know what? I would be too. If I was Omega Greed, I'd spent all this time sort of buffing myself into oblivion. I don't know what happened there. I feel like it was just like stuck going up in a perpetual loop. There we go. That shouldn't happen though. Like, I know sometimes I get stuck going in a certain direction. That should only happen when I play with a controller though, and right now I'm playing with a keyboard. Because my controller's still a little bit on the fritz. Oh god. That's okay, it's okay. Still sitting pretty at a solid 31 cents. I'll be happy if I can donate that much to the greed cause, you know. Oh god. Just grab all this money as much as we can. Get in there with our empty vessel. Ooh, get that nickel. Might as well. It's a little silly when we stand in that close to him and he does that jump. Because normally it's such like a feral leap and it's very intimidating because he crosses like half the goddamn screen. When you're just standing right next to him and he just does like a tiny little frog hop, it's like, eh. It's like, come on. Come on, Greed, you're better than this. A little bit silly of me to just stand there and take that shot maybe, but I feel comfortable in it. Like, honestly, I can stop putting on airs, I think. We have, no matter how much damage I take here, I think we have effectively won this run. That's not an excuse, mind you, to just, like, take all the damage in the world. Because we don't want to take damage if we want to donate the maximum amount of money possible, since we lose money every time. Although, we have gained money in the interim here, despite taking, like, 3 hits very recently. In a bit of a weird spot to try and even hit him here. Okay, that was not the greatest. Let's back off, back off. Okay, he's jumping into hopefully a better spot here. That sucks. Alright, I'm getting a little scared for my HP situation, but I think Greed is a little bit more scared for his HP situation, or he should be if he's not. Come on, buddy. He's right on the precipice, on the cusp of cataclysm. There he goes. Good times, good times. And we got the last little shield from that to boot. Eye of Belial's up here in the basement, as well as Belial Baby. Gotta love the face on that guy. Now let's go ahead and donate. Eye of Belial is actually an extremely good item. I believe deal with the devil pool only, so you should know that that's what, that determines what good items are generally. I say generally, of course, because there are items in there like Shade and, what else? What other really bad deal with the devil items are there? Shade isn't even like really bad. It's just like eh compared to all the other deal with the devil items. Ooh, is 777 gonna get us something here? I'll be sad if it doesn't. It didn't, dude. That's like the #1 number you need to hit in like a slot machine. Man, missed opportunity on that one. Thanks, Nicholas. All right, almost up to 800. Instead, we're just up to the model number for most modern-day commercial airliners. Actually, that's 747, isn't it? Never mind. I tried to make a cerebral joke and just prove myself to be an asshole. That's Judas all done. Next up is going to be Blue Baby. That's going to be A wild time for sure. For now, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. A bit of a longer one for greed mode just because of all the failure, but, you know, long's not always that bad. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like and or comment down below. It really helps out the channel. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more. I post a single Isaac video every day at noon Mountain Time. So I'd appreciate it if you join me tomorrow for the next one. I'd love to have you over again. I'm talking like a Blue's Clues or something. It's like, come on over to my house. We'll check the mail together. If the mail never fails, it's time for mail. Kids shows from the 80s or 90s aside, I'm gonna get out of here. Have yourselves a good day. This is ArgonMatrix signing out. Thank you and good night.